If you're looking to create a first-person weapon in Unity that does not clip through walls, you've come to the right place. If not, you're still welcome here, not to worry. In this tutorial, I'll be covering how to do this in URP/HDRP, as it seems to be a much more underrated topic than it is for the standard pipeline, which has been around for years now. For the best results, ensure that you have a Unity scene set up with some basic walls and floors and a first-person controller. If you do not know how to create a first-person controller, I've set up a super quick tutorial for that. The link is in the description. Also, make sure to have a prefab or model ready for the weapon that you want to use. I got mine here. The first thing you want to do is drag it into the scene and set it as the child of your character controller or the camera. I prefer using the main camera as the parent as it moves the two together. Move the weapon to a position and rotation that you're fine with in first person and fire up the game to see what we got so far. While this all looks good at first glance, you will notice that the weapon can easily clip through walls if you get too close to them. This is what the goal of this video is, and it's really easy to achieve. I'll close the play mode now and go and fix the issue. The first thing you want to do is to select your weapon and change its current layer. I do not have a layer set up for it now, so I'll create a new one that I'll call first person. Anything that you see only in first person can be put on this layer. So if you also have first person hands, this is the layer that they should belong to. Select your weapon and set its layer to the one you just created. Once that's done, select the main camera, go to the cooling mask and make sure that the layer created for the first person is not ticked. Everything in this layer needs to be invisible to the main camera. Right click on the main camera in the hierarchy and create a new camera as its child object. I'll call mine first person camera as this is its sole purpose. For best results, you can copy the camera component settings from the main camera and paste them onto the child one. This ensures that the view stays consistent. You may see now that the main camera view is gone. Don't panic. On the new camera, go to the culling mask and make sure everything is unchecked besides the first person layer. Click on the background type and set it to solid color. By default, the solid color will be transparent, but if it isn't, then click in the inspector and set its alpha value to 0. For organization purposes, you can set the weapon as the child of the first person camera. The next step you want to go for is to create a render texture. This is the type of texture that the camera can render its view to. I'll name mine first person view texture. Adjust its size to the resolution of your screen. Now go back to the first person camera and change its output from none to the render texture that you've just created. This will stop the secondary camera from drawing its view onto the screen and overlap with the main camera, and instead draw everything into the render texture. The third and final step is to draw the render texture on the screen but as an independent UI element. You need to create a raw image for this. Drag the render texture and set it as the texture of the raw image. Now you should already be able to see the weapon back onto the screen unless you made the grievous mistake of not fitting the raw image to the full size of the screen, just like me. Now you can start up the game and see what the results look like so far. The camera no longer clips through walls and works butter smooth, while still reacting accordingly to the sunlight. Oh, and make sure to delete the audio listener of the second camera. Unity certainly doesn't like it. There's also another benefit of drawing the first person weapon and or hands like this, instead of using as a normal object. The cameras can have separate settings now, such as the field of view. Most games have the world's field of view higher than the one of the weapon, and that's exactly what you should do too. I like having the world rendered at a field of view of around 90 degrees, as it gives a much more entertaining pace to the game, and have the weapon at around 60 degrees field of view. In my case, this also got rid of the clipping of a firearm stock that was happening in the bottom right of my screen. Now you can give the game another try and see how you feel about your new shiny asset. You can clearly see here that the weapon does in reality still clip through walls, but that is not visible in first person. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.